Hey guys, it's Keldon here. Today I'm going to show you guys a quick little look into Dreamtek Splines for SkaterXL. Um, I'm just going to do a quick little manual pad here and add some splines to the side. I'll do that live, and then I'll go into my map and show you how some of the more complex stuff is done. So the first thing we need to do to set up our Dreamtek is we got to create 3 tags. So you're going to go to this add tag. I've already created them here, but this is the way they're going to be able. You're going to have to create them. So tag 0 will have to be wood. Tag 1 concrete. Tag 2 metal. I found putting them in any other order screws up the sounds that happen when you grind. So this is the order they got to be in, unless. Yeah, I'm not an expert on this, but this is the way I found it's worked for me. So yeah, all you have to do is create these 3, spell them the same, case sensitive and everything, and then you've probably done this before using Hondunes and everything. But you're going to want to create a grindable layer. You can add layer, type in grindable on user layer 12. That's what Hondunes said to do, so that's where I put it, and it works out for me. So yeah, let's get started here. So I got this little Manny box. I got a box collider on it. I'll take it off here just so that we can do it all from scratch. So I just got it floating off to the side of my map here. It's an object spawner Manny pad. But so yeah, we'll create a just on our normal model here. We'll create a physics box collider, and that's going to put the box collider right around there so it's solid and everything, and we can just leave that as is. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy this box collider. Now I'm going to right click on my Manny pad in the hierarchy here, and I'll create empty within it. Now we can name this whatever we want. For this, I'll just call it grind. And now we just have our empty object in the middle of this one. So I'm going to add another component, go down to physics, add box collider, and I'm going to click on the little thingy here and just paste my stuff in. See, now I got the box collider on the whole thing. This is not what we're going to want to do, but this is how I like to start it. It's an easy way to get the box collider really close to where you want it to be. So I'm going to select the tag concrete. I'm going to select grindable. I'm going to put my physics material in the box collider. If you need to know how to do the physics material, it's inside both of the tutorials on how to do splines, either the Hondunes way or the Dreamtek way. Either way, your physics material will work in there. So now we're going to click Add Component, and we'll go to Dreamtek, Splines, and Spline Computer. And it's going to bring up this little interface here. I'm not going to start this just yet. First, we're going to get our box collider where we want it. So I'm going to click Edit Collider over here, and I will take this box collider and I'm going to drag it just over to the edge here, just so it's about grind sized, and I'm going to drag it up so it's a little bit more of a box. There, that's probably about good. That's pretty much it. That's all I have to do here. So now we can create our spline from Dreamtek. Really easy. Click the plus button. You're probably going to want to set this whoops, this I don't know why that's being annoying right now. There we go. So you're going to want to set that to surface, so that when we click on this, it'll put it right on the surface of the object. I think it starts as camera plane. I'm unsure, but yeah, I put it to surface, and then I never have to touch it anymore after that. Okay, so now that we have it on surface, let's place our first spline right at the beginning of this. Whoops, I'm clicking on the little thingy there. There we go. And we'll end it right here. Now I'll just click this plus again just to let it know that I'm done. Now we're going to come over to our area here, and what we're going to want for this is linear. It's not really going to matter because it's only 2 points, but you know, this is the difference between how those how the spline's going to curve between the points. So linear will go from a straight line to the next point, which is what I use for pretty much everything. Now you can in the explanation for the modders, it does say that we are supposed to always leave this on world. You can put it on local if you want to move it, but I honestly have not found a difference either way. So I just always put it on local, especially for these items, because they're object spawner items. They're going to be moved a lot, so we want the spline to move. The spline, the spleen, we want it to move with this object. So yeah, now that we have this and it's set to local, we can go back to our hierarchy here, and I'll click the grind. You can duplicate it by pressing Control D or just right click duplicate. So now I have a second one here, and what I'm going to do is just take this one and move it to the other side. If you have a little bit of trouble seeing, you're in your scene, try double clicking this. You get your you know, your orthotic view instead of perspective view, and then you can click here to like press F to frame it, and you can zoom right in, see where you know, where this is exactly. See a little bit off from the edge. So there, that should be good. So yeah, that's it. We've now splined this. Grind 1, grind 2, the splines are both there. So now if we wanted to even move these somewhere else, like maybe we wanna you know, put it on the side here. We want another grind on the short edge. We can take this and duplicate it, and we can just, you know, do all the things that we just did. You can turn it. You can move it over to the little where you want it. Center it up pretty good. You can scale it. It'll scale in. And align it a little bit better there. Let me look. Needs to be out a little bit more. There we go. So there we have a third spline. I'm actually not going to leave that one there. I want it to be just flat on the long way. But yeah, that is the basics of doing this. Now we'll go over here. I'm not going to do this because it takes so long, and I don't want to spend all the time fast forwarding the video. But like, if we look at these, like this one here, I've used box colliders for this as well. As you can see, basically I just line them up against the edge the same way. If we look at the hierarchy here, you can see, let me look at which one. Okay, so we got this one with the spline computer. So the spline computer is on our main game object here, and then all our colliders are on its own game object underneath. So that, as far as I know, that's the way you should do this. I think putting, you know, several box colliders right on this one, I don't know if it would work or not. I have no idea. But again, keep all of these, all of them on the grindable and concrete or whatever layer. I don't really have too much for kinks. I got this guy. He's a little bit kinks, but I think you get the picture of you know, what we have to do right now to make this work. So yeah, again, for a kinked one, I got just the same box colliders. The object just itself has a mesh collider on it, and then, you know, inside here we have our grinds, same as before. We have the spline computer inside the main game object, and then all the game objects underneath. Each one contains a separate collider, all on the concrete and so forth. And I actually just noticed that I am missing my physics material on this one here. So good thing we check this one. And again, for drawing the splines, exactly the same as I showed you on the box. do the exact same thing. Oh, there is one thing I forgot to show you. So when we start doing rounded objects, like say the edge of this car here, you're going to want to use capsule colliders just because it's a more rounded shape. So, you know, pick the best shape for the thing you're going to want to do. Because this is so such a weird shape here, let me show you in the hierarchy. So we can click that. So yeah, when we're drawing our splines on here, let me select them. You can select this normals button here. This is going to edit our point normals, and these will probably be all over the place when you put them on something rounded, because they can't quite tell which way's up. So you can you know, select here which way you want them to face, and then just click this button to make them so like up, which is pretty much good for everything. So select all the points, click up, and it'll change them all to up. I can show you by doing down. See, now they're all going down. So now if we hit the grind, our character's probably going to want to flip upside down. I'm unsure what will happen if we do that. So yeah, I don't know. But just let me set this back. There we go. So that's pretty much the basics. One other thing that I think needs messaging, like for example with you know, a little bit of a smaller rail like this one. See, it's kind of a thin rail. You're actually going to want to make your collider just a little bit bigger than the rail. As you can see, it's coming down below the rail a little bit. This is because if a rail collider is too thin, for some reason the board tends to slip through the rail. Not 100% sure why it does this, but in the documentation it did say that the minimum amount it should be is 0.1 meters. So, you know, I just try to keep it about, you know, this size of the player's toes, you know, the size of the tip of his shoe, that kind of thing. I figure that rounds out pretty good to 0.1 of a meter, or a decimeter. But that's pretty much it. You know, anything else you're going to want to do, all these down rails and everything, just turn the collider. That's all you got to do. Just rotate it and have it fit the best you can. Remember to use your orthotic view so that you can see it a lot better. You know, use F to frame it. Get in there. You can look at it from the above and all the angles by clicking this little doohickey here. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it to get you guys started on Dreamtek. I hope this video helps you guys out. Anybody who has any questions with it and everything, definitely let me know. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.